The preceding program is a paid advertisement for LifeLock identity theft protection. Today on Living Well with Montel.
Something was terribly, terribly wrong.
When the fraudulent bills started showing up, it was bad.
I had not applied for any of these things.
What happened next was worse.
The woman told me, the credit cards have been activated from your home phone.
30 years ago, she was a hard-working single mom, fresh from college. So why couldn't she open a line of credit?
Finding out that I was $112,000 in debt was devastating.
3 decades later, it happened again. It's identity theft, one of the fastest-growing crimes in America. It's not just a fraudulent charge that your bank or credit card company will fix. It's so much more.
The police could not help me.
Once thieves have your information, they can steal your money, ruin your credit, and turn your life upside down.
I owe them over $20,000.
2 automobiles were purchased.
I was going to lose my home.
If it can happen to a seasoned investigative reporter.
This guy apparently pulled my social security number right out of thin air. This is one of the most insidious crimes that are out there.
And a big city major fraud detective.
It devastates you.
You have no idea how easily it can happen to you.
You're just not secure.
Today, America's most trusted security expert, Mayor Rudy Giuliani, exposes the shocking truth about identity theft.
It can be done by very, very simplistic criminals just looking over your shoulder in a restaurant or in a store, or it can be done by very sophisticated hackers who are evil geniuses.
Stay tuned to learn from Mayor Giuliani and leading security experts what you need to do to keep your identity safe.
People become victims of identity theft every day and don't realize it until it's too late.
Protecting your good name is one of the most important keys to living well. And last year alone, over 11 million Americans had their identity stolen. Identity theft is a global problem, and all indications are that it's only going to get worse. Identity thieves don't discriminate. Young, old, wealthy, or just everyday people trying to make ends meet. All of us are potential victims. Since I became a LifeLock member, LifeLock has had my back. I know there's an entire company out there 24/7 proactively scanning for potential problems. LifeLock service works for me. Now stay tuned and find out why it's the best choice you can make. It's time to start living well financially, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. It's time to start living well with Montel. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today for another edition of Living Well with Montel. Well, today we're talking about identity theft, and if you don't think it's a serious problem, I want you to think about this. Every 3 seconds, someone's identity is stolen, and it's not just credit card fraud. And once your identity is stolen, accounts can be opened in your name, your credit scores can be ruined, your bank accounts could be wiped out, and you could lose all of the equity in your home. Identity thieves can ruin your life. And for all of you people out there who don't think you can be a victim because you're too young and because, you use one of these, you don't leave a paper trail, come on, guess what? Smartphone users are far more likely to be victims of identity theft. And you still think you're protected? Well, so do the people that you're about to meet. I want you to take a look at this.
I would never have thought in a million years it would have happened to me, ever.
Something was terribly, terribly wrong.
It happens to young people.
I have all of these bills, and none of them are mine.
Someone had opened a business in my name. They opened bank accounts. They basically had a life based off my life.
The police could not help me. It entirely changed the course of my life.
My identity is still messed up, and this is about 4 years later.
It happens to educated people.
It happened to me twice. I was fresh out of university and a single parent, very alone. Somebody bought a house for $112,000 in a state I never lived in.
It happens to hardworking people.
I owe them over $20,000, and that freaked me out.
It happens to people you would never expect.
You would think that if anybody is going to be well protected against identity theft, it's me, a professional consumer watchdog and investigative reporter. I was now being pegged for running up bills on 9 different credit cards that I wasn't paying, stiffing various utilities, passing bad checks.
It even happens to police.
A lot of people go, you of all people. And I said, yeah, if it can happen to me, it's going to happen to you.
You can become a victim of identity theft in an instant. Your personal information is at risk.
Well, this guy pulled my social security number right out of thin air.
Whether thieves get your personal information by looking over your shoulder, going through your trash, or hacking into your identity online, the results are the same.
I cannot currently get a credit card.
Just because you were a victim once, don't think you won't be again.
Well, please welcome Mark, Stephanie, and Hannah to the show. Welcome them. Stephanie, you need to tell everybody, you had a roommate, right?
I did have
nice
a roommate.
Girl. Friend of you, right?
Yeah.
She was cool.
Great friends.
Her boyfriend did what to you?
It is my suspicion that he opened some credit cards in my name.
How many months did it take you to start cleaning up the damage that this person did?
Several months, actually. I mean, I moved out and I had to call my boss and say, I need immediate time off. And I moved into a motel. I eventually quit the job because I couldn't afford staying where I was anymore, and I moved back home.
And you made the calls to the police?
I did.
And how much were they able to help you?
Not very much. I was violated, and now I have to prove to these people that I am me and that I did not do these things that you told me that I've done. And it was very difficult.
Hannah, your story is crazy because Hannah gets hit twice. Not once, 2 times. The first time, you had just graduated from college, correct?
Yeah.
Most people graduate from college these days, and you get the notice student loans are due, you know, how are we gonna work this out? You get a notice that you didn't have a student loan. Somebody bought a house in your name?
Yeah. I went for a credit card, and I was denied, and they sent me back this 4-page thing of all these places in Indiana, and along with this house that I bought and defaulted on.
Well, how much was that house that you bought? Because it was crazy.
It was $112,000.
$112,000 in debt like that?
Like that.
But what people have to understand is, for years, Hannah worked with banks, agencies, told them my identity's been stolen. Everybody and their mother knew it, and yet they get to do it again.
It was horrible.
Mark, people have to understand this can happen to anybody. You are a former LAPD detective, correct?
Yeah, I was actually working 9 years in major fraud when this happened to me. And it was pretty crazy, and it was actually a little bit of a joke when I got back to the department.
Do you know how it happened? How do they get your identity to begin with?
Your information's out there, and it's public. And so you have to protect yourself because it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you stress. It's going to cost you energy. And I've seen it from all walks, from the young to little kids to the elderly who has a house that's already paid for. And then one day, what? I have a mortgage? So it devastates them. It wipes out their retirement.
Well, you know what? To help us all understand how this could have been stopped, please welcome the founder and CEO of LifeLock, Mr. Todd Davis. Welcome him. Todd, these are crazy stories that we hear.
Well, the key is, if it had happened now, we would have had the chance to try to stop these crimes before they happened.
And I talked a little bit earlier about fraud, identity theft. A lot of people think if somebody, you know, swipes your credit card while you're standing at such and such a store, look over your shoulder and they charge 4 or 5 things and walk away, that's one crime.
Yeah.
That may be the extent of the crime. But then when they take it the next step further.
The keys to the kingdom for a criminal is get that personally identifiable information, not just a credit card that can be turned off in minutes if you notify, but let's get name, birth date, social security number. And once they have that, unfortunately for Hannah's sake, once it's out there, you see what happens. Not only can I get a mortgage, sit there, clean it up, work for years to make this better, and then the rest of your life you got to still look over your shoulder because when are they going to hit me again?
In each one of these cases, now here's LAPD, former LAPD, each case, had they had LifeLock to begin with, though,
yeah.
The first time he had any blip, you would have notified him.
Well, that's the key. We would have looked at, for banking, checking, savings accounts, account takeover fraud, LifeLock would have sent an alert. Is this you? Stephanie's case. You know what? You've got that alert, and you may have chosen to get it via text message. And just, Stephanie, you trying to get this new credit card? You say no, send it back with one button push, and we're going to interact with that enterprise and say, stop this transaction before that card ever gets mailed. We see across multiple enterprises, when those criminals adjust their vectors of attack, guess what we do? We adjust where our defenses are. We adjust what we see.
I got to back you in that 100%. I've been involved with LifeLock since its early days.
Very much.
I got to take a little break, sir. We'll take a little break. Guys, give it up for Mr. Todd Davis. Also, give it up for Mark, Stephanie, and Hannah. Give it up for them.
Coming up, Todd Davis takes Montel inside LifeLock's command center. But first,
I'm taking a stand against identity theft because I believe it's become prolific. I mean, it's epidemic in proportion.
he's taken on organized crime, Wall Street criminals, even international terrorists. Now, America's mayor is taking on identity theft.
I think I know a little bit about security. I would never think in a million years I could protect my own identity. You got to get professional help here.
It's one of the fastest growing crimes in America. Before you even know you're a victim, it can rob you of your hard-earned money.
$5,000 or $6,000 out of my checking account.
2 automobiles were purchased.
$112,000 on my credit.
Destroy your good name.
It ruined my ability to get credit.
And turn your life upside down.
I could have been arrested and I could have been serving time.
The police could not help me.
It's identity theft. It strikes over 11 million people every year. Young, old, wealthy, hardworking. And its victims have one thing in common.
I would never have thought in a million years it would have happened to me. Ever.
None of them thought it would happen to them.
I know it happens to a lot of people, but I was so careful.
Credit card companies don't do enough to protect you from identity theft.
Protect yourself with the most comprehensive identity theft protection available. The protection only LifeLock offers.
You know, if you're like me, you want to protect the things that are so important to you. Your money, your credit, your good name. That's why I'm a member of LifeLock.
Right now, your personal information is out there, and thieves can take it in an instant.
When you swipe a credit card, shop online, fill up at a gas station, visit your doctor.
And if you use a smartphone, your chances of becoming a victim are even greater. LifeLock's highly trained and dedicated member services team are at work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, helping to stop identity theft before it happens. LifeLock utilizes a sophisticated data surveillance system to monitor more than 740 billion identity data points every day. When identity thieves attempt to use your personal information, LifeLock's proactive identity alerts warn you, helping to stop thieves in their tracks before the damage is done.
LifeLock called and let me know that somebody was out there trying to use my name, number, and social security. They ended up locking everything down. LifeLock stopped them from doing damage to my credit and my name.
No one can stop all identity theft, but no one can protect you better than LifeLock. And they stand behind that promise with their $1 million service guarantee.
LifeLock was my Superman. It feels great to have LifeLock behind you.
Call today, mention promo code STOP, and get 60 days of LifeLock's protection risk-free. Call or go to lifelock.com/stop right now. Become a member today, and Montel will also send you this document shredder for shredding all your unwanted sensitive documents. A $29 value, yours absolutely free for ordering during the special offer. Don't wait until you become a victim. Become a LifeLock member today.
LifeLock offers the most comprehensive protection available. It's the best way for you to protect the things you value most.
Go to lifelock.com/stop or call 1-800-543-3562 right now. Mention promo code STOP for your free shredder and get 60 days of LifeLock's protection risk-free.
Wow, welcome back to Living Well with Montel. Now, today we're talking about identity theft, and to help us understand just how enormous this problem is and what we can all do to protect ourselves is the former New York City mayor, America's mayor. Please welcome Mayor Rudy Giuliani. My goodness, sir. Good to see you.
How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
How are you?
First of all, thank you, sir. Thank you. First of all, I mean, your service to this country is just indescribable. You have taken on everybody. Organized crime, drug cartels, you name it. You have taken it on and beaten it down and really done one of the best jobs, I think, of anybody in this country doing so. Now you're taking on identity theft, sir?
Well, you have to look at the shifting nature of crime.
Okay.
This is the fastest growing form of crime. It's insidious because people can steal your identity and you don't even know about it.
What made you aware of this to focus
on?
Well,
I've been in the security consulting business now for 10, 11 years since I left being mayor. So I've heard hundreds of complaints like this from individuals, from businesses. The whole area of cyber theft has just been growing and growing since I've been in this business. And now it's become almost an epidemic. I call it an epidemic because all this information is in cyberspace. All this information we used to lock in safes, all that stuff is sitting up in the air. I mean, it's in a cloud.
Right.
It's right up there for anybody to go grab, take.
Now, what's even crazy about this, and tell me if I'm wrong, I think, okay, if somebody messes with my debt, all I do is call the bank. Hey, cancel all my credit cards. We good? Thank you. And it's over.
No, it's not over. I mean, if somebody can get your Social Security number, they can do all kinds of damage. Somebody can get into your bank account. They can start moving money around. They can start taking money out. Somebody can apply for your Social Security benefits before you get a chance to. They can get your Medicare, Medicaid benefits if you're entitled to them. They can charge enormous amounts before you ever find out about it. They can take your equity away from you.
Absolutely insane. So now you found out about LifeLock, and I'm going to ask you, you're a member. I'm a member of LifeLock.
Yes.
Let me say, I don't know if you, do you know the story
I believe LifeLock is by far the best. But my major message to people is you got to get you got to get professional help here. Do not think you can protect yourself, no matter how smart you are, no matter how security conscious you are. I think I know a little bit about security. I would never think in a million years I could protect my own identity. I can't do it. I'd be spending all my time, checking everything that I did, and I wouldn't be able to do it.
That's crazy. Well, you know what? Earlier, I told everybody in the audience that I was going to take a little tour of a LifeLock command center. Well, LifeLock's founder, Todd Davis, did exactly that. He took us on a tour of the command center, and I want you all to take a look at this right here, sir.
We are the industry leader in providing this world-class service, and we're proud of it. This is truly a command center. It isn't just about this dedicated group who are here, but it's the fact that behind all of this, Montel, is 740 billion aggregated data elements, where we are looking for our members' personally identifiable information being used.
And I want people at home to understand, you and I are standing right here on the other side of a glass, and why?
We have to make sure that that data of those members does not get out. We can't even tape audio there in our command center. Wherever you are, when you need someone, we will be there for you with a live body who cares. We have the chance to stop this crime before it happens.
Absolutely incredible. See, I knew that they were doing and on the case, but didn't realize how much so.
The reality is, you look at all those people, they're working for you.
Yes, sir.
They're all working for you. They're all working to protect you. You cannot possibly do this work for yourself. You cannot protect your own identity in the modern, complex, technological world we live in. LifeLock's the best way to do it, but any way is better to do it than you're doing it yourself.
You heard it here, folks, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now, you've heard victims of identity theft talk about how devastating it can be to become a victim. And you've also heard from Mayor Giuliani talk about the enormity of the crime and how easy it is for any of us to become victims. If you still think you don't need protection, our next guest will change your mind for sure. At one point, he was one of the world's most notorious hackers and identity thieves. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Kevin Mednick. Great to have you, sir. Got to meet you, sir. Right before the show, Kevin, we selected 8 members of our studio audience, stand-up guys, and these 8 members of our studio audience agreed to let us take a look at the information that they put on their audience release form. And those audience release forms has a certain amount of information on it, right? Why don't you tell them?
Basically, they're just their name and their address.
And they're going to participate in an identity theft demonstration.
Right, Montel, we have 4 LifeLock members. We have 4 random members from the audience. I was able to find out a ton of information. Before I can go any further, I have to get their explicit authorization, or I'd be breaking the law.
When we come back, it only took a few minutes, but you won't believe how much personal information he was able to find and what he did with it. And that's not the most shocking part.
You know, if you're like me, you want to protect the things that are so important to you. Your money, your credit, your good name. That's why I'm a member of LifeLock.
Right now, your personal information is out there, and thieves can take it in an instant. When you swipe a credit card, shop online, fill up at a gas station, visit your doctor. And if you use a smartphone, your chances of becoming a victim are even greater. LifeLock's highly trained and dedicated member services team are at work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, helping to stop identity theft before it happens. When identity thieves attempt to use your personal information, LifeLock's proactive identity alerts warn you, helping to stop thieves in their tracks before the damage is done.
LifeLock called and let me know that somebody was out there trying to use my name, number, and social security. They ended up locking everything down. LifeLock stopped them from doing damage to my credit and my name.
No one can stop all identity theft, but no one can protect you better than LifeLock. And they stand behind that promise with their $1 million service guarantee.
It feels great to have LifeLock behind you.
Call today, mention promo code STOP, and get 60 days of LifeLock's protection risk-free. Call or go to lifelock.com/stop right now. Become a member today, and Montel will also send you this document shredder for shredding all your unwanted sensitive documents. A $29 value, yours absolutely free for ordering during the special offer. Don't wait until you become a victim. Become a LifeLock member today.
LifeLock offers the most comprehensive protection available. It's the best way for you to protect the things you value most.
Go to lifelock.com/stop or call 1-800-543-3562 right now. Mention promo code STOP for your free shredder and get 60 days of LifeLock's protection risk-free. Before the break, 8 audience volunteers allowed former hacker Kevin Mitnick to attempt to steal their identities using just their name and address. Information all of us give out without a second thought.
Just so people get this clearly, if you have a computer and access, it doesn't cost you anything, right? What's the cost for you to be able to steal somebody's identity?
Actually, 50 cents. You don't have to be a super hacker. Anyone that has access to the internet and could subscribe to certain databases that private investigators do and information brokers do could obtain anyone's information for between 25 and 50 cents.
So the value of your whole life and all your information, 50 cents. All right, so let's show you. We did an experiment, and this has been great. All 8 of you stand up again. 4 of you are LifeLock members. 4 of you are non-LifeLock members.
I was able to get their full social security number, their date of birth, their phone number, and all the addresses that they lived at for probably the last 10 years.
You then, during our break, were able to do what?
I was able to open up credit accounts at some of the major banks.
Guys, he was just able to fill out applications for credit cards in your names. All right, so now the 4 of you that are non-LifeLock members, take a look at your phone. Tell me if you have an alert there. You got an alert there? Somebody let you know that somebody messing with you? No? LifeLock members, take a look at your phone. Anybody got an alert there? Yeah? What? 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4? All 4? And you see, that's the power of LifeLock. It steps in and can stop it. Honestly, it's being proactive, understanding that with a minimal amount of information, people have access to your entire life, correct?
Well, pretty much the identity system in America is broken. It takes anyone with access to the internet and a credit card to get enough information to become you. It's just so easy, and there's nothing out there that that can protect you like LifeLock.
Give it up for Kevin Mitnick. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent. What a good guy protecting us all. Now, I want you to take a look at this tape because here are a couple of LifeLock members who are going to prove to you that LifeLock can step in to help us all stop identity theft in its tracks.
I was applying for a new home loan. My neighbor next door came into my apartment, and within minutes he just photocopied everything with his camera. They stole it all. They stole my life.
Last Thanksgiving, I came home, found my house burglarized. They had taken a safe, which contained all of my wife's and I's personal documents, my family's personal documents. What they took wasn't just the physical items, but they took my identity, and it became very personal.
At first, I panicked because I didn't know what to do. Now that he's stolen my identity with all the inquiries on my credit, I'm not going to qualify, and I was not going to get my new home. LifeLock protected my credit. And in the process, I did get my new home.
The support I got from LifeLock was amazing. They were there for me. They were working side by side with me. The credit card companies and my banks were not.
LifeLock did shut the identity thieves down.
I chose LifeLock because they seemed to have the best reputation. What was interesting is they proved themselves right by doing everything they said they would do and then some.
If I didn't have LifeLock, I would have never gotten my new home.
Without LifeLock on my side, I don't know where I'd be.
Well, please welcome Kent, Julie, and Francine to the show. Welcome them. I don't know, again, I can't imagine walking into my house and realizing someone had invaded my privacy this way.
I was so angry. I wanted to just pick up a pipe and beat somebody.
I can imagine because, you were also trying to think about the holidays for your family. And when did you realize that, somebody could have our information?
Well, we had taken all of our stuff out of the bank, put it in our home safe because we were switching banks, and we noticed that the safe was gone. Our passports, our birth certificates, our social security cards, our parents' information, car titles.
So what did LifeLock do for you?
LifeLock stopped the identity theft. They locked me down. They protected me. Anytime I had a problem, I was getting an alert via text, a phone call, and an email.
And I'll tell you, these LifeLock people that were on the phone with us were amazing.
And this is through the holiday season. Let's remind people that, this thing happens 2 days later. Their thieves are out there working as hard as they can, and LifeLock is letting you know, bang, I have stopped this. I have shut this down.
They were working immediately. They weren't even waiting 2 days. We'd been robbed Thanksgiving Day, and by Friday, they were already starting to open up accounts. And LifeLock was right there for us, right over the holidays, going into the Christmas season.
And LifeLock stopped it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Now, Francine, This thing, these little devices that we call smartphones, all of which have cameras on them. Watch this, Francine. Somebody rolls over to your house. Neighbor.
Okay, my neighbor.
Click, click.
He took it all. He had it all.
What did LifeLock do for you?
Well, LifeLock kept alerting me because the thief kept trying to move my bank accounts to different P.O. boxes. So Life would call me up and say, hey, are you changing an address? And I said, no. I got the alert, hey, he's trying to open up another 7 credit cards.
And each time that alert comes through, that's not saying, oh, this activity is going on and we didn't do anything. They stopped it from happening. Stop it.
They're my angels.
All right, folks, what else do I need to do to convince you to get identity theft protection? We've shown you from both sides, from the victims and the thieves, just how easy it is for identities to be stolen. You've experienced firsthand the dedication and the incredible level of support from America's leader in identity theft protection. And America's mayor himself, Rudy Giuliani, told us just how serious and devastating this problem can become. So, the problem's not going to go away, folks. It's only going to get worse. Don't wait until you become a victim yourself. Protect yourself with LifeLock today. Now, I'm going to make it real easy for everybody in the audience because you're all going to go home with 1 year of LifeLock for free. There you go. Absolutely. So join us on the next Living Well with Montel. You know, if you're like me, you want to protect the things that are so important to you. Your money, your credit, your good name. That's why I'm a member of LifeLock.
Right now, your personal information is out there, and thieves can take it in an instant. When you swipe a credit card, shop online, fill up at a gas station, visit your doctor. Credit card companies don't do enough to protect you from identity theft. And if you use a smartphone, your chances of becoming a victim are even greater. LifeLock's highly trained and dedicated member services team are at work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, helping to stop identity theft before it happens. LifeLock utilizes a sophisticated data surveillance system to monitor more than 740 billion identity data points every day. When identity thieves attempt to use your personal information, LifeLock's proactive identity alerts warn you, helping to stop thieves in their tracks before the damage is done.
LifeLock stopped them from doing damage to my credit and my name.
No one can stop all identity theft, but no one can protect you better than LifeLock. And they stand behind that promise with their $1 million service guarantee.
It feels great to have LifeLock behind you.
Call today, mention promo code STOP, and get 60 days of LifeLock's protection risk-free. Call or go to lifelock.com/stop right now. Become a member today, and Montel will also send you this document shredder for shredding all your unwanted sensitive documents. A $29 value, yours absolutely free for ordering during the special offer. Don't wait until you become a victim. Become a LifeLock member today.
LifeLock offers the most comprehensive protection available. It's the best way for you to protect the things you value most.
Go to lifelock.com/stop or call 1-800-543-3562 right now. Mention promo code STOP for your free shredder and get 60 days of LifeLock's protection risk-free. The proceeding was a paid advertisement for LifeLock Identity Theft Protection.